Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance, in my seed tours and review series. Last one was amazing. We had a stronghold underneath a mushroom biome. It was absolutely brilliant. We also, in the same seed, the mansion is only a couple of hundred blocks away. Loads of other stuff as well. The Nether's pretty good. You really need to see this seed. It's in the playlist, in the description below. Do go and have a look. Episode 53 coming up now, and it's a different one. As we always do, we are going to set this fella up together. That is the world name, not the seed, but it is actually the seed. That confused you, but that means I can find it next time I look. I got to put the seed into this box, otherwise you're going to turn out somewhere like in a cave or on top of a cliff that you don't want to be, and that's just not what we want. So let's crack in here. I'm looking forward to this one. There is some really great things to look at spawn, I'm told, so it's exciting. And it appears I have spawned in under a bush. Oh, look. This jungle, we're on the edge of a jungle that we spawned in, and we've got a jungle temple literally right there. That is fantastic. Let me get myself a stone block that I can jump up on. Make sure I've got some clearance. So I'm going to jump up on top of this. This is not because I can't fly. I'm in creative. I know I can fly. This is so as I can get a good view of everything around me, people. Let's tower up. I'm on top of my stone pillar now, and I can see all sorts of things, mostly ocean. Oh my goodness, it is properly wet. But look at this, look at it down here. Where we spawn in, there is a jungle temple, but this is possibly the smallest jungle I've ever seen in my life. It's teeny tiny little jungle island. How cool would that be to do jungle survival? I would love to do a jungle survival on that. That would be brilliant. And we've got all of the frozen stuff behind us there. We've got all sorts of ocean. We've got a wreck behind us. What I need to know is which way is north, right? So that's west. That is north, going out across that island. Let's have a little bit of a wander. We are coming out away from the edge of our jungle there, and we've got just masses and masses of ocean. We've got something down there. I think that is an ocean ruin right there, which has got a little bit of light. I thought for a second it was a monument, but it's not. It's an ocean ruin. But it is just masses and masses of ocean. It does appear that we've got more jungle coming up on the right hand side here as we come across. So I'm just going to skizz across ever so slightly, so at least we've got a little bit of land to be able to work ourselves along. Big old jungle there. Maybe this is the same biome that we've just spawned into, but separated by that big sea mass. But we've got a bamboo jungle here as well. Bamboo jungle coming in at around about minus 1,100 directly north. A relatively decent sized bamboo jungle there. All the bamboo you could possibly need. You can start getting your scaffold for your building, and goodness only knows what else too. And we continue out right past the jungle. Obviously, what is natural to find? A frozen ocean right next to a desert. Because, I mean, this isn't a confused environment in any way, shape or form, is it? Hot and damp, cold and frozen, hot and not damp. How does that work? No idea. Look, it's bridged. We've got frozen, hot in the middle. I'll never understand how that works, but it does only in Minecraft. We've got a desert temple right there. That's going to be dead easy to find. We've got that at the coordinates of minus 1,800, 226 on the X on the minus. And the desert seems to just continue on. It's quite a big old desert. If you want plenty of sand for your glass or whatever else, you are sorted. One of those entirely pointless waterhole things that you get in the desert sometimes, never mind. But the frozen ocean does surround it quite well. We've got plenty of stuff that you can come and mine your ice. Maybe you want to make an ice farm. Frozen oceans work really well for that. And eventually, as we move north, we get a little bit of landmass. And I'm not sure what this is going to turn into other than mountains. Let's just see what's a little bit further along. Now, those mountains were just islands, and we've had to come to nearly 3,000 in the north to get to our first major landmass, which has got a village, but I don't think it's got a blacksmith. I'm just looking. No blacksmith there for us to come and pilfer, but some decent amount of houses, so there'll be a good number of villages in there. We've also got a really nice looking ravine, so you can get yourself down into the depths without too much digging, which is always good. A nice plains area that is relatively flat, not too much terraforming, and as a result, maybe you could expand that village into a much larger town. That's quite nice. You've got resources of birch and also oak. So birch for your chests and your sticks, and oak for actual wood. We've also got a swamp right next door as well as a mountain biome that you can get your mining done in. But the swamp isn't particularly wet. There's a bit of wet there. I can't see a witch hut obviously anywhere. And we've also got another jungle. So if you wanted to relocate, you didn't want to be in the jungle at the start, you could come relocate to a jungle here. So as you could build in that plains, it's lots of choices. Lots and lots of choices, people. A little bit more wetness there. Maybe you could make some kind of slime farm on that, but I'm not entirely convinced. And then you've got a little bit more plains, quite interesting shape, lots of rivers, they're quite nice, before it turns into more sea with more ice. North is pretty good. What are the other directions like? We're heading out east from spawn now. You can see the spawn is right there. And again, we have just got, as we already know, more and more and more ocean. And we're going into a little bit more landmass. Oh, is that a flower forest right there? So we've got a flower forest that is just offset. That's not too far away from spawn at all. We're at about 130, 0 on the Z pretty much. That is nice. It's a decent size. It's a little bit wobbly, but you could definitely get yourself a flower farm on there if you wanted to. We've got a dark oak forest that has started to appear on the edges of this flower biome. I love the fact that you've got this big old wet area. That might be an actual really nice area to build a flower farm, because that will still officially be flower forest because it's within the biome. So you can actually get yourself something done there quite easily. Got a birch forest coming up there as well. Dark forest really starting to loom on top of us with the plains behind it. Lots of different biome diversity in this direction. That is beautiful. As we came over the dark oak forest, just on the edge of this swamp there, you can see we've got our first broken portal that we've seen in this direction, and then a big plains, again with a ravine in it, which is always nice. I do quite like ravines. You can make a real feature of them if you're doing an interesting build. But this big plains has got great potential. The only thing that's missing is a village, and then of course a village pops up on the horizon, which is always good. And I do believe, is that what I think it is? It's a smithy. So we've got a blacksmith, and also there we've got a witch hut on the edge of this really, really wet swamp. This could be great. Come and land here. Where are we? We're at 1,000 minus 250. This is a great place for a base. We've got mountains, we've got swamp, we've got ocean, there's a village there, we've got some wood. And this swamp here is really nice because you've got that witch hut with a massive area of wetness that you could turn into a really useful and quite productive slime farm using iron golems. That is gorgeous. Let's carry on going east and see what else we can find. So we've got a big old frozen ocean, and over there I think that looks like, am I right? Yeah, look, you've got 3. Let's just come and have a quick look at this. You've got 3 ocean ruins, all of them. What's that all about? All of them on the ground, all of them in the land. They're not even in the ocean, but 3 ocean ruins there that you can come and pilfer really easily. You're not going to get done by drowns there, are you? That's absolutely brilliant. I like that. That was minus 1,600, minus 500-ish. And then if we just carry on. Oh, hang on a minute. Yes, we've got an ocean monument as well. So this ocean monument is sitting at 1,800 on the X and minus 435 on the Z. That's a nice find. That's not too difficult to find. It's almost directly east, but not quite, just a little bit off. We continue over that ocean even further, and it looks like we hit another desert. Have we got anything interesting in the desert is the question. At least we're not surrounded by frozen ocean. That kind of gave up a little while. We've got ourselves a little bit of a wreck there, so we could open up an account on treasure hunting possibly. Got some nice features here with the shape of that coastline. You could do something with that. This is a big desert, and we've got a lovely shattered savanna. Look at that. I do love looking at shattered savannas. There's so much opportunity. My mate Slice Mine and my mate Vigo Plays they're just great at using these shattered savannas for turning them into some kind of steampunk build, and I can only imagine what they do with that. That looks fantastic. We've got continued desert. The savanna always seems to edge onto a desert, doesn't it? And it's just sand for days. We're now at just over 2,500 blocks towards the east. We've only gone 400 off centre, so it's not too bad by my standards, frankly. We do have a nice river flowing through this desert here, so if you wanted a little bit of desert living, I have done a few desert house tutorials, so you could always come and have a look at those. There is some nice features there. And we've got continued and brand new shattered savanna here also, which is nice. They're quite close, those 2 shattereds, aren't they? This fella's big. Look how high this goes. Wow, we are at... And let's just see the height of this guy. So we're at 190 on the Y at the top of that shattered savanna. That is so high at minus 3,300. Wow. And we've got a savannah village right on the foot of it as well. Now, savannah villages, I normally complain about them being split and some of them being a little bit high, but can't really say that, Si, when it's up next to Mount Everest of savannas there. That's really cool. East isn't too bad either. Turns into a plains as well. Lots going on. What have we got? Is that just more? That's another village from the desert variety as well. We've got a double tower there that you could use really quite nicely. It kind of spans across the entirety of the village. So build some kind of bridge across that. You could turn that into a really great raid farm that will work really well until the Vexes come. And then, well, then you just have to dodge a lot. Heading out south, even more wetness. We do have another shipwreck there, but it's just ocean upon ocean upon ocean. If you like a really big ocean seed, I reckon this fella is absolutely brilliant. Looks like we've got an ice spikes biome right here. Whereabouts are we? We're at minus 300, 150, and you're hitting this big ice spikes biome there. Lots of frozen waste, lots of frozen ice. That's really nice, so close to spawn. I like that very much. And you've got a tundra on the other side of it, which is brilliant, but that's taking me off a little bit off the south axis. So let's come back in. We've got what looks like a standard savanna next to a plains there with a really nice river running through the middle of it, dried up at the bottom but continues around. That's lovely. You could really do something interesting, maybe a twin kingdom type of effort there. That would be gorgeous. We've got another village coming in. The villages in these directions are a lot closer, aren't they? Quite a small village. No majorly interesting houses, but I'm sure you could come and nick some stuff if you really felt inclined. That would be great, including the villagers. Villager relocation scheme is active in this area. We've got our first coral reef sitting at minus 260, 900. Looks like it's only a little one, but you only need a little one to get yourself a few sea pickles, and then you can make yourself a little sea pickle farm, and that works really well. More ocean. What a surprise. Let's get across here and see what it's like. I've travelled over quite a lot more coral, so if you need loads of coral, actually, you're not too shabby. We're 1,500 on the Z, only about minus 500 on the X though. I did have to come off slightly, but I was just following the coral. The coral basically keeps going from where we were last time all the way here. It winds around all of these little islands, of which there are many in this what seems to be like continuous water world ocean. And yeah, so absolutely loads of coral. I take it back, it wasn't little at all. But I think our first major landmass in this direction now has turned into a birch forest. So all the chests and sticks you could possibly ever want. But even that, look, it's an island. It's not even a big landmass. It's just more sea on the other side. I've been going for ages. This coral just does not stop. There is so much of it. We are currently at nearly 3,000 directly south, almost, well, 650 off the axis, and it just keeps coming. It literally hasn't stopped for the last 2,500 blocks. It's absolutely insane. And it is island after island with different types of biomes on these islands. So we've got a mountainy biome there, we've got a foresty biome there, but these are islands still. They're not actual land masses. It's really strange seed. We're looking forward to the seed map when we look at it in a moment, because it's all over. Look, the coral still keeps coming. Have they just over-generated the coral or something? It's insane. This, I think, has turned into a proper landmass now. That doesn't look like an island. And it is a plains area. It doesn't take too much... well, maybe a little bit of terraforming is required to get that sufficiently flat. It's a really strange triangle in there. But possibly somewhere decent. You can make a big type of town build. Maybe a city. That would work quite nicely. Plenty of wood all around you as well, so you're not going to be short of being able to build. Looks like we've got oak, dark oak, birch, all the wood you could possibly require. Dark oak forest looming over us as it comes. I think if you go medieval, which often when you're doing a town, medieval works, isn't it? You've got enough dark oak. Look, I can't even talk. We've got enough dark oak to be able to do that before it turns into the mountains. Now, I don't know how I missed it, but I was just coming back from coming south, which is in that direction, and there's this really great little mushroom island that we've got here, edging onto the edge of a plains with a ravine, which is really nice. We've got, obviously, coral running all the way around the outside of it. Really nice little area here. We've got, it is at 691 on the X, 2631 on the Z. Really nice. I can't believe I missed it. I must literally have followed the coral all the way around it, and it just didn't render in. All I can say is I must fly around with my eyes closed because, again, still on the journey back from the south, which is in that direction, and there's this blooming great big mesa. How on earth did I miss this? Where are we? We're almost exactly on the south axis, flying up north. It's because all that coral just distracted me. But we've got quite a decent sized mesa. It's long and it's thin, so that might be why I've missed it. But look, we've even got what I believe to be one of the most beautiful biomes in the entirety of the game here. Look at that, all of the eroded badlands. It's just fantastic. Well, I mean, you want your terracotta? You're sorted. You are not very far away. We're only 1,000 blocks from where you spawn in. And it's still going. I wonder how far it goes. Right, okay, so it's not huge badlands. It's not very, very big, which is maybe why I missed it. But look at that, and that's fantastic. It starts at around about 900 in the southerly direction. So heading west from our jungle island, we're going over this snowy biome. Now, we've got obviously a bit of a snowy taiga there. Turns into tundra. So are we going to come across any igloos? Igloos are always fun. I know it's kind of one of those things that's a little bit overrated sometimes, but if you find an igloo and you can cure the villager inside, it just gets you that advancement really early on in game, and you can just get a little bit extra from it. I quite like it. It's just one of those things. We've got loads and loads and loads of icy wasteland. If you want to live in the tundra, oh my goodness, this would be beautiful, wouldn't it? Look at that surrounding. That would be absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to carry on going and see what we might be able to find. Literally just before the tundra turns into the mountainous kind of taiga biome there, we have got ourselves a little igloo. So they do exist, people. You can definitely go and find them. It also turns into a desert, obviously. Ice and sand. This bothers me. This just genuinely bothers me. How does that work? I have no idea how that works. But we've got continued sand going on here. Frozen, obviously, there, because that's how Minecraft thinks. And more ocean, because we've not had enough ocean on this siege yet, have we? Let's just have a look and see what's on the other side. In this direction, it just seems to be ocean, 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 more ocean, and some desert. But we do have a broken portal there. We are currently at minus 2,200 on the X and 281 on the Z. We've got a desert here with a desert village as well. It's quite a decent sized desert village, so I'm optimistic there could be some decent pillaging to be done in this fella. That looks quite good. We've got lots of villages there. You've got buildings that you can come and nick stuff from. That could be quite nice. No towers though, interestingly. That's quite rare to get a desert village with no towers whatsoever. Goodness me. I wonder if this ocean just carries on forever. Literally, don't come in this direction unless you've got a boat. You're going to be really struggling. But it does turn into a savanna when we get to minus 2,750-ish. Quite a jumpy up and down savanna with a couple of hills. Quite nice for savanna living, but it doesn't last for very long because obviously it turns into a bit more ocean. Back at spawn, I've just done a quick /locate just to see where the things of interest that we've not yet found are. So the nearest mansion is only 7,500 blocks away. In reality, that's really close by mansion standards. Minus 7,392, 2,000 on the Z. So that's not far at all. Pillager Outpost is about 2,500 blocks away, minus 1,800, minus 2,200. And the nearest stronghold is less than 2,000 blocks away at, at 1,500, minus 1,000. So fairly close. I didn't bother with Jungle Pyramid because, look, it's right there. Literally, right there. I've come into Mine Atlas to see if we can't see what's going on with this map, and I've zoomed out all the way so we go out to like 5,500 in each direction. You can see where we spawn in, right in the middle here, beautifully between this, I don't know how I missed it, this Mesa plateau here. You've got the mushroom biome I missed down there. You've got that frozen area with the ice spikes, all really close. You've got this jungle area, even though we are spawning in a tiny little jungle island, you've got that bigger jungle there. Lots of desert and stuff and savanna there. Big jungle up there, big jungle, loads of jungle everywhere. You've got more mesa to the bottom, more jungle down here, surrounded by ocean. That's why there were so many islands. And there's also another mushroom island just there as well. This is a really interesting seed. I'm in Spectator and I've slapped on a night vision potion. I want to look underground. So if you don't want to know what's underground and find out for yourself, then you have spoilers in 3, 2, 1... spoilers. And underneath you can see we've got the underside of that desert pyramid, that jungle pyramid right there. Actually, you've got a reasonable amount of not a lotness, probably because we are right on the edge of the ocean. Oceans always generate fewer caves because they're deeper. But in reality, what we've got not too far along here, we do have what I first believe was, I was just going to say it's a small mine shaft, but it's actually not a small mine shaft at all. It's a fairly decent size one. We do have a spawner right here, little spider spawner that comes in at, where are you? Minus 199, 33, minus 306. So that's quite easy to find. Hopefully not too difficult. Quite a winding thing you've got here, little mine shaft. You're all over the place with trying to find your stuff. Again, probably because there's these little ravines in the way where the mine shaft is kind of winding through them. But other than that, it's relatively cavey, I guess. You've got a lot of ravines as you would expect underneath the water. These are going to be filled with water in many cases, I suspect, so do be careful when you're wandering around in there. Don't drown for whatever you do. That would be terrible. It's not replete with too many actual spawners, though. I'm just looking around to see if I can see anything, and I can't see very much in the spawner department at all. In fact, I can't see very much in the department of any other kind of non-cave related things. I can't see another mine shaft where you've got your... Oh, there it is. I knew there was going to be one around here somewhere. What have we got here? We've got a zombie. There always seem to be zombie spawners that we find. There's a zombie spawner. Let me just give you the coordinates for that. That's at minus 389, 21, minus 285 if you want to come and find the zombie spawner. Other than that, yeah, there's not a lot going on underneath. So good for mining, not so good for caving. Time to go interdimensional, and I've put the portal right on top of that jungle temple because I just thought it was a good place to put it, and it's really, really close to spawn. So let's get ourselves in here, light this fella up. What's on the other side? Very interested to see. Immediately we've come in. Right, so it's a soul sand valley that we've immediately fallen into. We appear to be safe from lava. You can't decide if it's a soul sand valley or another wastes though. So we're kind of going into both the different biomes really easily there. Some opportunities for some farms possibly. A little bit flat. If this was not in peaceful, I would be worried about things like ghasts and skeletons because, well, they like to kill you a lot. And look at all that flatness. They're going to be all over you. So do be cautious there. Now, where are the other biomes and things of interest? I can see there is a crimson forest right next to us, which is good. Do be careful here. Looks like you've got a long drop down. If you do spawn here, don't kill yourself, whatever you do. I wonder if there's anything else close. I need to know where the Basalt Delta is. I need to know where the Weeping Forest is. I need to know where Bastion Remnant and also obviously Fortress is. Let's have a look. So taking a look, the biomes that we don't know are Basalt Delta, which is 393 blocks away. The Wart Forest, which is 285 blocks away, so it's not too far, fairly close. Bastion Remnant is 1,000 blocks away, and the Fortress is just under 500 blocks away. However, it is not uncommon for Minecraft to lie to you on these two items, the Bastion Remnant and the Fortress, because they seem to pop up. Minecraft goes, oh yeah, there's that one as well. Sorry about that, meant to mention it. So let's go and have a look. The Basalt Delta is actually very difficult to navigate. Look at it, it is windy, twisty, over loads of lava. You're probably not going to want to come here too much. And it's just over the other side of where we were. It's not too far away at all. However, I told you Minecraft lied. And it does lie. Now, it said this was 400 odd blocks away. It's not true. It's literally right next to the Basalt Delta, which was only a couple of hundred blocks away from where we were, the other side of here. So it's all fibs. Minecraft just fibs. What we do have is quite a nice open blaze spawner right here that you could definitely make a farm out of. That is minus 300, minus 358. That's a nice space. That's easy to clear. Definitely a good place to be able to put some kind of blaze farm. Over here, we've got the entrance to the fortress proper. Let's come inside. What have we got? There's a lot of areas to investigate, but I can't see any obvious fungusage, which is always a shame. I do like to know that there's fungus close by. I'm sure it must be somewhere. After much scanning, I cannot find the fungus shroom. No nether wart in this one, which is a shame. So do keep looking. Maybe the first one we saw is exactly where you need to go for your nether wart. Now, the Wart Forest is also not ideal, but when you're onto the Wart Forest, it's not too bad. It is fairly open. It is, however, quite split level. Right next to the Crimson Forest here, you can see, but it's okay. It's okay. Once you actually get onto it, you can navigate it fairly well. Getting onto it is the primary challenge. Oh, look, that fella's grown right into the rock there. That's funny. But it's quite a decent sized Crimson Forest, though. If you kind of sweep your way around it, there's a lot of area to cover. There is an awful lot of lava underneath it, though, so do be cautious. But it's wrapped around by this Crimson Forest as well. Plenty of places to get your warped wood. Obviously, not a lot of spawns here, so if you wanted to make yourself a relatively mob-free area, this is a good place to come. But this is what I like to see. We've got a fully open Bastion Remnant, which is always good. Much nicer than... well, this fella's getting a bit grumpy with me. Much nicer than the really buried ones, which always irritate me when they're so buried. However, you are going to need to be relatively good at your parkour to get from one place to another. Remember, always come here with a hopper and a shulker box. And that way you can get the stuff out of these chests without anybody having a pop at you. Because brutes are horrible. Brutes, that they will eat you alive. And if you're not prepared for the brute will definitely be prepared for you. And this one is quite a broken up one. Hang on, let's just come on the other side. You can see here, you're going to see it for miles, this one. It's a cracker. It's big. Come and take it apart if you want loads of blackstone as well. Don't forget, you can always mine out the blackstone. The piglins actually don't mind you taking this thing apart. What they do mind is you nicking stuff from the chests. They're really fickle like that. I think this seed has probably got something for absolutely everybody. There's lots of places where you can build your kind of points of interest, like your mansion, your stronghold, your monuments. They're all very, very close by. So much coral, you don't know what to do with it. Your island spawn with this jungle is incredible. I love it. Lots of frozen areas. Plenty for you to go by. The Nether isn't too bad either. Everything relatively close. The Bastion Remnant's a bit of a trot, but when you get there, it's definitely worth it. So thank you very much, Tanuj Sai. Tanuj Sai, thank you for sharing this seed with us. I really do appreciate it. It's a real cracker, definitely worthy of episode 53, and I hope it brings a lot of people a lot of joy. If you have got a seed that you think is absolutely brilliant, for whatever reason, whether it is Bedrock, whether it is Java, whether it's because it's Great Island seed, whether it's got so much in terms of biome diversity, just let me know by sending me an email to avomanceminecraft@gmail.com. That is avomanceminecraft@gmail.com. If you let me know in that email why it is such a good seed, maybe some screenshots, maybe you could send me the map, maybe you could just write some stuff down. I'd really love to see it, and I'll put it into the pot. I've got a lot. Really, I've got a lot, so please don't be offended if it doesn't get used, but oh my goodness, I'd love to know what you can offer me. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying it, and I will keep on making them. Also, if you're not done already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.